Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you've ever tried researching stocks in the Indian market, you know it can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose, right? Well, today we're going to break down a tool that's designed to completely change that. Think of it as your own personal AI co-pilot for investing. I mean, it's a feeling so many of us know. You're staring at your screen, just buried in endless data, conflicting opinions, and all these complex financial ratios. You start to wonder, where do I even begin? It's easy to get totally paralyzed by all that information. And that's exactly where a tool like Finmagine comes into the picture. It's not just another app. It's designed to be your personal AI co-pilot, really, to help you cut through all that noise and give you a clear, structured way to do your research. Okay, so the very first step in this whole process actually has nothing to do with stocks. It has everything to do with you. Before you can even think about finding the right investment, you've got to understand your own unique investor profile, your investor DNA. So this whole thing starts by simplifying your approach. Are you a conservative investor, that little shield icon right there, focused on keeping your capital safe and getting steady income? Or maybe you're a moderate investor, looking for that sweet spot of balanced growth and reasonable risk. Or hey, maybe you're an aggressive investor, aiming for maximum returns and you're comfortable with a bit more of a roller coaster ride. Figuring out which one you are is absolutely the most important first step. All right, once you know who you are as an investor, the next step is all about asking the right questions. And this is key. The tool gives you these expertly crafted prompts that are tailored specifically to your style. And that right there helps focus your research like you wouldn't believe. For instance, a conservative investor isn't just going to ask for safe stocks. That's way too vague. Instead, you'd use a precise, powerful question like this one, zeroing in on specific things like being debt-free and having low volatility. See the difference? Now, for an aggressive investor, the language just completely flips. The focus immediately shifts to things like high innovation scores and aggressive market expansion. The prompt is perfectly tuned to the goal of finding those big returns. And of course, for the moderate investor, it's all about finding that balance. So this question hones in on improving financial trends and reasonable valuations, the heart of a balanced strategy. Each prompt is designed to get you the most relevant info for your specific style. And listen, this approach goes way beyond just looking at a single company. You can use these guided questions to analyze entire sectors, get help actually building a portfolio, or even dig super deep into specific topics like valuation and risk. So, you've asked your super smart question. What happens next? What do you get back? Well, this is the magic part. This is where all that raw data gets transformed into genuine insight, giving you access to analysis that's truly pro-level. And at the core of all this analysis is something called the Finmagine framework. It's not just pulling random data from the web, no. This is a unique scoring system built from the ground up to systematically evaluate companies across a whole range of critical metrics. And when I say comprehensive, I mean it. The framework uses 21 distinct parameters to evaluate a company. It's looking at everything from how strong the balance sheet is, to profitability, to valuation, to innovation. It's this deep dive that gives you that complete 360-degree view. And what that means for you is that you get a professional-grade response every single time you ask. It's kind of like having a financial analyst on speed dial who already knows exactly what you should be looking for. The response you get is also structured to be super clear. First, you get specific data citations right from the framework. Then, you see a clear assessment of the investment and market risks. After that, you get trend analysis with peer comparisons. And it all leads up to actionable recommendations that line up with your risk profile. You get real investment clarity. So, when you put all of this together, it's really a fundamental shift in how you do things. It's all about moving from that feeling of being totally overwhelmed by data to feeling empowered with insights you can actually use. It just changes the whole game. Now, to really get the most out of this approach, here are a few pro tips for you. First, be specific in your questions. That'll get you more targeted answers. Always mention your investment time horizon. Are you in it for the long haul or looking for a short-term play? And definitely use those profile templates we talked about. The more focused your question, the more precise the answer will be. I mean, the contrast really couldn't be clearer. The old way? That's endless searching through messy, unstructured data, which just leads to information overload. But the Finmagine way gives you a direct path. Guided questions lead to structured analysis, which in turn leads to actionable insights. It's that simple. And this is a practical tool you can use right now. The framework currently covers 72 of the top Indian companies, and just so you know, that list is always expanding. So now that you've seen how this guided approach can bring so much structure and clarity to your investment research, there's really only one thing left to think about. What will your first question be?